Hi friends, welcome to day 28 of Yoga Connection. Today is connecting to creativity. And creativity looks a little different for everyone. It could be cooking, it could be writing and journaling, or even reading, and could be yoga and movement, dancing, arts and crafts, but we're trying to just tap into our creative side today. We'll be doing a fun pose later in class that I'm really excited to teach you, and we'll have options of different ways of getting into it and just kind of getting creative with our own practice. A quote that I'd like to share with you to inspire you in creativity is, "Creativity doesn't wait for that perfect moment. It fashions its own perfect moment out of ordinary ones." And this is by Bruce Grambrandt. And so it's a good example of, it doesn't have to be the perfect pose today. You might even try it and feel a little weird, but see if you can create your own creativity around today's practice and let that transfer off of the mat into your daily life. So we'll start in a comfortable seat. You can prop the hips up for a moment. We won't be here too long. Letting the hands rest on the knees or the right hand over the left in the lap, whatever feels most comfortable. And just take a moment to slow down. Whether it's the beginning of the day or maybe the ending of your day. Just let yourself fully arrive to this practice. Tapping into the breath as your tool to slow down. Take a moment to think of something or some things that help you feel creative. Maybe it's a hobby, or it could be your work, or something you've been wanting to try. And trying to transfer that feeling that you have when you get to explore your creativity onto the mat today. One more breath here. Slowly blinking the eyes open, we'll move on to our bellies. Bringing the stomach onto the ground and bringing the fingertips off to the edges of the mat. I've done this a couple times. This is a version of Cobra. So inhale, opening through the heart. And exhale, dropping the right shoulder down, looking over to the left. Inhaling back through center. And then dropping the left shoulder and looking over to the right. You can continue doing this, or you can kind of find a little bit of flow with it, dropping the right shoulder and then the left, and then raising the right shoulder and then the left. Choosing your flow here, moving slowly and letting your breath follow the movement. One more time wherever you are. And then switching sides, so either letting the left shoulder drop, looking to the right, or starting the circles, leading with the left shoulder this time. So the left shoulder drops, and then the right. Left shoulder raises, and then the right. Taking one last round of whichever variation you're doing today. And then bringing the hands under the shoulders, tucking the toes under. Raising the knees, or the hips first, and then the knees rise for downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here, bending into one knee and then the other. Shifting the hips side to side. Finding whatever organic movement feels best for you. Again, just getting creative in a down dog. We've done down dog a lot, so how can you find something different today? Taking an ordinary pose and making it your own. Dropping the knees wide. The hips will sit back towards the heels, child's pose. Inhale, bringing the knees to center and coming all the way onto the belly. Inhaling into Cobra or upward facing dog, it's up to you. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Again, finding a little bit of movement here. You might find a little bit of flow. Shifting the hips side to side, finding some circles.
Shaking out the head. Again, opening the knees wide. Toes come to touch, sitting the hips back. Inhale, coming up, knees come back to center. We come onto the belly as you exhale. Inhaling, opening into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time of movement here. Yesterday we shifted forward and back in our plank to down dog. That might feel good here. Again, just getting curious. Finding a little bit of play and creativity. Opening the knees wide, hips sit back, toes come to touch, child's pose last time. Inhale, bringing the knees back to center, coming onto the belly. Inhaling into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Raising the right leg up on your inhale. And exhale, stepping the right knee onto the ground. Instead of pigeon, where we turn the right toes to center, actually leave the right toes facing back. And then placing that left knee on the ground. If you want to, roll up your mat for a little bit of padding for the knee, that might feel good. And sitting in the hips, sitting the shoulders above the hips. Staying here or walking the fingertips over to the right side. So maybe that left hand comes onto the knee. The right hand can come back onto the thigh or the fingertips behind you. Releasing the chin to the chest. Really getting into that left hip as well as psoas. Walking the hands back to center. Releasing the mat if you used it. Raising the left knee up and then raising the right leg up to three-legged dog. Placing the right knee down on the mat. Switching sides, raising the left leg high on the inhale. Stepping the left knee towards the front of the mat. The shin will come down. If you'd like to pad up the right knee, placing the right knee on the ground. Bringing fingertips up, fingertips on the ground, or you can even use blocks here. Opening up through the chest. Trying not to completely splay the chest open here. We do want to keep the rib cage centered. And then opening over to the left. Inhaling here. And exhale, looking back. Again, if the arms where I've placed them doesn't work for you, get creative. You might raise one arm up, or you can bring the hand onto a pillow or block behind you. Do whatever you need. Unraveling back to center, untucking the back toes, releasing the mat if you have it, and raising the left leg up, three-legged dog. Placing the left foot down, and slowly walking the hands back towards the feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift here. And exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, inhale, raising the arms up through center. The right hand takes the left wrist. We stretch over to the right. Hips gently shift towards the left. Opening the chest towards the ceiling. Your next inhale brings you up through center, switching the grip of your hands. And then stretching over to the left, the hips gently reach over to the right. Inhaling back through center. And exhale, forward fold. Walking your hands out to plank pose this time. Rolling over onto the left side of the foot. And the right foot will either stack on top or that left knee can come down and the right arm reaches towards the ceiling. So either assisted side plank or full side plank. Wherever you are, pushing that left hand towards the front of the mat so that the hips will rise. Placing the right hand down, taking a moment in plank, inhaling. Exhale, lowering down with or without the knees. Inhaling into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Walking the hands back towards the feet again. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, inhale, raising the arms up. Right hand takes the left hand, stretching over to the right. Hips go towards the left. Inhaling back to center.
Switching your grip, reaching over to the left, hips go towards the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold, releasing down. Walking the hands out to plank again, finding your plank pose first. And then rolling over onto the right side of the foot. The left foot will come to meet it. Or again, you can place that right knee down for assisted side plank. Pushing that right hand away from you again will help raise the hips up. Inhaling here. Exhale, releasing the left hand down. Inhaling into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or lowering all the way without the knees. Inhale, opening. And exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly walking the hands back towards the feet again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending through the knees. Inhale, raising the arms up. Palms come to touch. Right hand takes the left, stretching over to the right. Hips go towards the left. Inhaling back to center, switching your grip. Stretching over to the left. Hips go towards the right. Inhaling here. Exhale, forward fold. Walking the hands out to center. And coming to downward facing dog. We're going to move into wild thing here. You're more than welcome to follow along with me or watch me the first round and then join in the second. So a couple different options here. First option is to come from downward facing dog. Raising the right leg up, shifting forward kind of halfway between down dog and plank. Bending into that right knee, and then the right sole of the foot meets the earth, the left leg straightens. Hand comes to heart center, shifting the hips high. Right arm reaches overhead. Inhaling here. Looking down towards the mat. And coming back to downward facing dog or three-legged dog, placing the foot down. Other option is, I'll show it on this side, coming to side plank. Placing the right side of the foot down, raising the arm high, and then stepping that left foot back behind you. It's a little less of a reach, and then coming onto the ball of the right foot, raising that left arm overhead. Looking down towards the right hand, flipping back over, three-legged dog. Placing the left foot down, opening the knees wide. Sitting the hips back for a moment, child's pose. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Walking the hands back up. And coming to sit for a moment. So that was wild thing. It's a little bit different of a pose. We haven't done it before. So I'm giving us a little bit of time to just play with it. So I'll break them down again both times. But if you're kind of like, I think I know what I'm doing, I want to try it at my own pace, go for it at your own pace. Get creative. You can kind of change how you get into the arms and everything like that. So again, starting from downward facing dog or plank pose, your choice. Raising the right leg up and bending into that right knee, and then rolling over onto the left side of the foot, whether in plank or down dog. Right sole of the foot meets the earth. Left toes point back, right arm raises, reaching that right arm overhead. Really leading with the heart here. To come out of the pose, we look down towards the left hand first, reaching that right leg up towards the ceiling, and then placing the right foot down. Pedaling the feet out, taking a moment. Again, if you're playing, continuing play, take your time, get creative. And then from the other side, from plank pose this time, or down dog, wherever you're heading, rolling over onto the right side of the foot, raising the left arm up, stepping that left foot back behind you, right toes point towards the back wall, and then the left arm reaches overhead. Taking a breath here, looking down at the left, or at the right hand comes onto the mat, reaching that left leg high, placing the left foot down, opening the knees wide, coming to child's pose. Maybe rolling the forehead side to side.
Take a moment just to feel how it was to try something new. We've learned a lot of things over this 28 days. And maybe you were able to practice patience or forgive any negative self-talk. Maybe you incorporated some play or even creativity. Sitting up on the heels, letting the hips shift to either side, coming up to a seat to move into a wide-legged forward fold. So again, that was a lot of heart opening and back bending. So we're going to release into some forward folds before we relax. Inhaling, wherever you are, again, you can prop yourself up on the hips, or prop the hips up on something if you'd like. Inhale again. And exhale, release towards your forward fold, being gentle. You can walk the arms forward if that feels good for you. Again, we just want to feel a stretch. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Releasing the chin to the chest. Letting the torso be heavy without letting the ears crawl up towards the shoulders. Just really releasing the ears away. Walking the hands back to center. Bending the knees, pulling the feet to center, bringing the soles of the feet together, preparing for bound angle pose. Inhaling here. And exhale, leading with the heart. The hands can, again, massage the feet or the calves. Could even be massaging the hands while you lean forward. Just get creative of whatever your body needs today. One more breath here. Again, making sure the chin is released to the chest. Slowly coming up, and we'll move on to our backs. Again, another opportunity to play and find your own practice. I'm going to give you 1 minute for the end of class just to finish the practice however you'd like. That could be a supine twist, could be happy baby, shoulder stand, bridge pose. If there's something you want to work on briefly before the end of class, feel free to do that now. And try not to overthink it. Just follow your intuition, listen to your body, and have fun with it. If you are twisting, just make sure to do the other side. And wrapping up whatever pose you're finishing with now. And then option here for traditional Shavasana or soles of the feet together, legs falling out for Supta Baddha Konasana to end class. Hands can rest on the torso or arms down by the sides. You can always place blocks under the knees if that feels best, or of course you can take traditional Shavasana if that's what you're feeling today. Remembering it's always your choice.
Start connecting back to your breath. Bring some gentle movements in the fingers and toes. You can even roll the head from one side to the other. Bending through the knees, rolling over onto either side using the upper arm as a pillow for the head. And slowly making your way up to comfortable seated position. We'll meet with our hands together in front of the heart. Remembering that if you are feeling really creative right now in your life or not very creative at all, just try to reconnect back to that part of yourself, knowing it lies within you. And you can always tap into it. Always know that the light and love within me is very honored and proud to witness the vibrant and unique light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. If you're wanting to do a little extra than this video, I'd love to see a little video or post of what you do to feel creative or tap into that. If you want to use the hashtag yoga connection, you can also tag me and at @EmilyHenderson_yoga and YOGATX on Instagram or Facebook. And I'd love to see what everyone's doing everywhere. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the mat tomorrow. Thank you.